Alright, let's establish two things right now. One, I have played World of Warcraft since late TBC, so I think I have the credit to speak about WoW's history and development. And two, it's not just nostalgia. That is an incredibly lazy argument in an attempt to deflect people defending what they like, and you being unable to accept that. Okay? Okay, moving on. So, with WoW Classic right around the corner, the retail and classic communities are still bashing heads, and this may still ramp up as the game releases. There are several arguments against WoW Classic, and the people hyping it up, such as, it's just nostalgia, it's too easy, it's slow and boring, stuff was broken, buggy or imbalanced, etc., etc., and these are fair arguments, and they can apply toward other, quote, old school MMOs. This video is more focused on WoW Classic since it's the most relevant older MMO to soon be in the market, but I'll also reference another old MMO, Final Fantasy XI. Now I know that vanilla World of Warcraft wasn't exactly the most difficult or grindy MMO that existed during its time. In fact, it was known as the Care Bear MMO because it was much less punishing versus its competition. Final Fantasy XI, which released in 2002 in Japan and 2004 in the United States, had much slower character progression, crazier grinding, and experience loss on death. And let me tell you, leveling down happened frequently. Final Fantasy XI was also my first MMO because my dad picked it up when it came to PC in the United States, and he treasured that game. He still regards it as one of his favorite gaming experiences, and he is not alone. He eventually let me make my own character, and I set off into the world of Vana'diel, attacking monsters solo for months worth of game time. Yeah, that game wasn't meant to be played solo past like level 17 back in the day. The point is that I have fond memories of that game because, yes, I was a kid and the world and its systems blew me away, but I also enjoyed the combat and the progression. Most of that game is leveling up, which is a grindfest in itself, but then the quests, oh, these quests, I'll just say you put in time and you got rewarded. In December last year, 2018, when I abandoned Modern WoW and was starting to get burned out on Final Fantasy XIV, I stumbled across a private server for 11 providing content up to the expansion Treasures of Aht Urhgan, which some people consider the glory days of the game. Now that I am 22 years old and not 8, I have the absolute power to engage in multiplayer systems and features I couldn't use as a kid, because my parents didn't want me engaging with strangers online. And oh my god, do I enjoy it. Sure, it's slow and mostly auto-attacking until the higher levels, but leveling parties in that game can be some of my favorite moments. The pretty simple gameplay allows for banter to flourish and friends to be made, because at the end of the day, it's a multiplayer game, and you should be interacting with other people constantly. Also, MMORPGs shouldn't inherently be competitive. Leave that to the players to decide. They're not meant to be esports, they are solely about you, your character, and the world. I'm looking at you, MDI and arena tournaments. Now, let's get back to the older versions of World of Warcraft, and more specifically, WoW Classic, which is what many consider, alongside the Burning Crusade, as the greatest time for WoW. Sure, sub-numbers were still rising for Wrath, and that's my personal favorite expansion, Wrath baby, but I agree that the game was starting to invite a lazier mentality. Raids were too easy at launch, and Dungeon Finder meant I could just sit in one spot and get to max level. I know you had to be level 15, you pedantic idiots, but getting 15 was never hard. And you would get pretty decent gear to start raiding without having to move at all. But these features, and later on LFR and Cataclysm, disincentivize any need to interact with the random people thrown into a party with you. Yeah, you can talk to them and stuff, but because of Crossrealm, you'll probably never see them again. This is a big deal in vanilla and TBC. You remembered who was in your Black Fathom Deeps party, and they remember you, and hopefully neither of you were complete assholes because you're both on the same server and rumors can spread quick. This is also why I'm fine with Ninja Looting rearing its ugly head once more, because it won't take long before trade chat is filled with the guy's name and he won't be getting invites from most people anymore. Now, addressing the difficulty argument, an MMO doesn't need to be hard, just challenging when necessary. People revere vanilla WoW for being hardcore and punishing, but it really wasn't that hard. You attack one mob, you kill it, Maybe kill another before healing, and you did that to level 60. Unless you were a mage, in which case life was pretty sweet. Gameplay was simpler back then too, and that's perfectly fine. Raids were also a joke until like AQ40 and Nax, which were still pretty easy, let's be honest. Let's just get rid of this stupid mentality that you are a hardcore veteran raider because you killed Cthulhu in 2006. If you only want hardcore content in your MMORPG, then I guess Mythic raiding will fill that void for you. I personally do not care in the slightest to push my limits and go for world first, cutting edge, or whatever else. I play the MMORPG because I want to play an RPG with other people and have a fun time. That's all Vanilla WoW is. It's what MMORPGs should strive to be. You make your character better and stronger, you meet people and make new friends, and go to do some quests or delve some dungeons together. That's it. That's all it needs to be. Before I end this video, I still need to tackle the nostalgia argument. The ultimate counter-argument to classic WoW, if you can even call it that. As stated at the beginning of the video, I started playing WoW in late TBC, early Wrath. I didn't experience Vanilla WoW until 2013 when I stumbled across a Twitch stream of Smooth McGroove, the popular YouTube acapella guy. He was playing on a server called Valkyrie WoW. I figured, what the heck, let's give it a shot, and looked up guides on torrenting and downloading the 1.12.1 client, made a human warrior, and got to work. I think I only ever got him to around level 34, but I loved every minute of it. I'm not exaggerating my fun with it at all. It was genuinely enjoyable to level my character, feel him improve, and when I got my first Scream drop, I was ecstatic. It's always fun comparing the DPS, speed, and stats on a weapon to see if it's actually a worthwhile replacement for what I'm using at the moment. I would also play on Phoenix WoW's vanilla server when that was relevant, but that server was a bit of a mess. Now, when Nostarius launched in early 2015, everyone was talking about it. It was this insanely hyped up vanilla server that was getting tons of views on Twitch, and that's when it began. This ongoing struggle between classic fans demanding vanilla WoW again, and Blizzard saying no and shutting down all these popular streams. The attention is there, and it'll come back even stronger in WoW Classic. I, on Nostarius, made a dwarf hunter named Mitch, and he was my first ever vanilla character I got to level 60. The journey to max level was fun and arduous, and then the gearing process for pre-raid best in slot, while I never finished it, was also pretty fun. In fact, you can spot Mitch in a video showing the final moments of Nostarius, and I'll probably have it up on the screen. Alright, so I rambled enough for this video, and hopefully I got my points across in that old MMOs aren't bad or worse compared to modern MMOs. You know, specifically talking about Vanilla WoW. Old and modern MMOs are two completely different styles that are unique enough on their own. You can like one or the other or both, and it shouldn't be a big deal. People want to play old WoW again. You just have to accept that and either tag along for what will be an incredible journey or go back to BFA. The choice is yours. Thanks for watching.